Messi's InterMiami debut date is set, as his arrival has fans in an all-out frenzy. The GOAT's arrival is also turning into a logistical nightmare. InterMiami's managing owner, George Mas, has revealed the date for Lionel Messi's debut. It'll be against Mexican side Cruz Azul on July 21st at the DRV PNK Stadium in Fort Lauderdale. FYI, InterMiami is not playing in Miami. They're actually playing in a stadium, a smaller stadium, in Fort Lauderdale. A deal for Messi to join InterMiami is close, but lawyers on both sides are still finalizing the last details of that agreement. Despite struggling at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, Messi's arrival has sparked incredible interest. South Florida has a large, thriving Hispanic community, and they're expected to turn out in force to welcome Messi when he finally arrives. MLS Commissioner Don Garber already believes Messi's arrival could be seismic, game-changing, a game-changing moment for soccer in the USA. You're dealing with perhaps the most special player in the history of the game. It's clear soccer in the US has been waiting for the Messi moment. The club has already experienced a massive surge on their social media platforms. The team went from a couple of 100,000 followers on Instagram to over 8 million since the Messi announcement. Ticket prices have also soared over 1,000%, with fans around the world planning on coming to South Florida to see Messi play. Tickets have soared from the initial price of $24 to over $1,000, and once these tickets hit the secondary market, we may see ticket prices in excess of $5,000 to see Messi play in Fort Lauderdale. And the jersey demand is expected to be record-shattering. InterMiami, their apparel distributors, Adidas, they're all working overtime in anticipation of the demand for the Messi jerseys. Check out this article from the Miami Herald talking about the jersey demand and the anticipation surrounding it. The inside story of how when Messi's number 10 InterMiami jersey will hit the market. And there's a picture of it as they're getting ready to debut it right there. Lionel Messi's number 10 InterMiami jersey is about to become one of the most sought-after shirts in sports history. Factories in Vietnam, Norway, Italy, and Miamisburg, Ohio are bracing for the onslaught of orders. From the moment the Argentine soccer icon announced on June 7th that his plans to join the InterMiami franchise, Avery Dennison doubled its staff and began working around the clock, 24 hours a day, at those 4 locations to add Messi's name and number to whatever InterMiami pink and black Adidas jerseys it could get its hands on. We're preparing capacity, making sure we're staffed with extra personnel and shifts because these presses will be running 24 hours a day for at least the next couple weeks. Our job is to keep up with the demand of the Messi jerseys. We've already started some operation running products ahead of time, even prior to the signing, knowing once we get the okay from the MLS, we'll start shipping that day. How big is this jersey demand? Well, in 2017, Messi signed a lifetime shoe contract with Adidas that is estimated to be worth $1 billion. He makes $25 million annually from his endorsement deal with the company, and the proposed deal to join MLS this summer includes a revenue sharing agreement with Adidas. This is where it gets really interesting. In the case of Messi, all the retailers around the world will be jockeying for these jerseys. Adidas has to commit to that supply chain and decide what goes where. As you can imagine, the interest level in South America alone is massive. They're asking, how many jerseys are we going to get? They're ready to place orders already. Now, in comparison, let's talk about what David Beckham did. David Beckham, who's a co-owner of InterMiami, sold 300,000 LA Galaxy jerseys per season during his 5.5 years with the team. Messi is expected to sell far more than 300,000 jerseys per year. His Paris Saint-Germain shirt was the world's top-selling jersey last year with 1.2 million jerseys sold for a total of $139 million. His number 10 Argentina shirt sold out worldwide midway through the 2020 World Cup. So you can imagine the demand for Messi InterMiami jerseys is going to be off off the hook. It's going to be crazy how many people are going to want to get these jerseys. I hope they make them in big size because I'm going to want one myself. The excitement that the Messi debut is causing in South Florida is bigger than any sports event ever here in South Florida. The Miami-Fort Lauderdale corridor has never seen anything like this. This is bigger than Dan Marino. This is bigger than Shaq. This is bigger than Dwayne Wade. This is bigger than LeBron. It's probably bigger than all of those signings and games combined. Messi himself is a global phenomenon. None of those other players reach the level of Messi. He himself, not the team, not the league, Messi himself has over 470 million followers on social media. No team and no player in all of sports even comes close. But with this are growing pains. InterMiami is having problems at the stadium and problems with parking in advance of Messi coming to Fort Lauderdale. Let's take a look at a recent article that discusses that. This comes from the Sun Sentinel here in Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale accuses InterMiami of adding stadium seats without a permit. Team pushes back. They're trying to get more seats into the stadium. I can't fault them for that because they're going to need the extra seats. They're definitely going to need them. The ongoing dispute between Fort Lauderdale and Miami Beckham United, the team ownership, just got uglier. No one can blame Lionel Messi, but the latest controversy may have a lot to do with the fact that the soccer superstar is on the way. Messi is expected to make his debut with InterMiami on July 21st at DRV PNK Stadium. On Monday, InterMiami owner George Mas told reporters that he'd already contracted to add 3,000 seats to the stadium to meet the Messi mania demand. That's not going to be enough. The 3,000 is going to be a drop in the bucket. On Wednesday, Fort Lauderdale threatened to issue a stop work order, claiming workers were installing new seats without a permit. A terse note from City Hall was sent to InterMiami at 4:42 p.m., telling their lobbyists that the city was in the process of red tagging the stadium. Understand that. Here we are getting ready for Messi's debut in Fort Lauderdale, and they're going to red tag the stadium, which basically means you can't use it. That's insane. Sometimes I don't understand government getting in the way of progress. It's crazy. In addition to needing more seats, they're going to need more parking, and the city's not playing along there either. Parking crunch. 3 weeks ago, Fort Lauderdale barred InterMiami from using a 20-acre lot south of the stadium after the soccer club's owners missed a May 31st deadline to pay permit fees that were due 3 years ago. Beckham United needs that parking lot like a desert needs water. That's an understatement. But until those permit fees get paid, the overflow lot is off limits, Fort Lauderdale says. So as you notice, that wasn't paid for 3 years, but now with Messi coming to town, the city obviously feels they've got a hammer that they can use, a sledgehammer that they can use against InterMiami to do anything they want. They understand how big of a deal this is. I don't understand why a city would get into this kind of entanglement. It's obviously against their constituents' approval. It's a huge business move. Work together, get this thing done. You got until July 21st. Actually, you don't wait till then, but on July 21st, Messi is going to hit the field in Fort Lauderdale. It's going to be an Olympic-size event in a very small stadium in a very small area located off Commercial Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. I can't even imagine what the traffic snarls will be like. Everything has to be done way in advance before Messi gets here. Get the traffic flows ready, get the redirections, the detours, and we haven't even discussed the security protocol for having the GOAT come to Fort Lauderdale. There's a lot of logistics that still have to be worked out, obviously. I personally can't wait. I can't wait to see Messi play in Fort Lauderdale right here in my backyard. It's exciting, and I seriously hope you guys got a jersey, a 4X jersey for me. Keep watching, subscribe, hit the notification bell as I'm going to continue doing more stories about the biggest sports celebrity to ever play in South Florida. Talk to you soon.